Hello and happy Stacy, folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazingly awesome day today. One of the best you've ever had in your entire life for you folks. Alright, so today I'm doing my 11th Let's Play here for Fantasyland. It's a sandbox with the cache turned on to for you folks. And basically what's happening here is that I have they just released a fantasy themed DLC for Planet Coaster 2 about 2 or 3 weeks ago called Sorcery for you folks. With a lot of sort of Harry Potter themed other fantasy stuff too. And so I typically would do a Fantasyland because I love the genre so much just behind the scenes. After I started Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I created this as a scenario after I do all the, in this case, all the career modes and that sort of thing too, to get myself caught up, right? And that's everything too, from Architect on. And this is the first sort of a fantasy themed DLC for any of the games that I've played. Put hundreds of hours into it, right? I thought it would be fun for me to knock it out for you. Now this is the Sandbox here is a little harder, so there's only 10,000 cash, and we're looking right now at this section of the park that is themed around sort of, the fairy tale and storybook side of things, right? And that sort of thing too. And so you can see that here, right? And now the first day with about 10,000, not that much. I started off with this roller coaster. This ferry wheel. And then the teacups there too, and some infrastructure there. And I wasn't making that much money, but I thought that adding there's chair swing here as well as this junior coaster here. And so I took out loans for both of those, and that didn't really make a lot of money either. So then I just did a theater here with a loan too. That is also that was introduced in this right as well as this over here. And then I took out loans. On week 4, just did some decorations because I didn't want to take out loans for stuff. I didn't have that much money, like 1,500. And then I decided to do the big wheel for a loan too, which a lot of people had told me would be good to hear. It's the Ferris wheel here, there too, for you folks. And then after that, I then took out loans each week for what people told me would be good money rides. One of those was for this start wheel here. And then I did this roller coaster with a higher thing called that you can see it over here too, which is on all ages, but because it's a wooden coaster and it comes from the game. Right, I thought it would be nice too. And then the sun flare and the bumper cars were my next one. And then last week I did, actually a couple of weeks ago, I had about 14,000, and so I took about $9,000 loan for the 3 blind mice. The problem right here, this wild mouse route, which I thought was really going to push me to the next level, so I took out that loan for it. But unfortunately, as you can see here, despite the fact that it's got great ratings, here you can see the ratings at all 6 out for the nausea, but then not that much money, unfortunately, which is sad but true. So then last time I had about 9,000 in cash, and so I built 3 flat rides that would make sense here, and that sort of thing too. That's the tilt-a-whirl here, and then the tiny eye here, and then the twister here. And I was going to also build the spiral slide too, which feels like the last one that you would make here, and that sort of thing too. And then after that, I was just going to finish out and come to the next section of the park. So up here, like I said earlier, there's like 12 sub-parks. Right here would be Atlantis, the water park section with pools, water coasters, lots of stuff like that too, the blog flumes. And then over here would be the gothic horror section of the park, which I could put some nicer rides into, like mummies and mummies will probably be reserved for another section. That's ancient Egypt, but you get the idea. But lots of undead, giant spiders, witches, and stuff. We got plenty of stuff for that too. And then over here would be the high fantasy section, which I could definitely put some themes into too. And then over here would be the myth section. I also would have the Weird West, science fantasy, like Star Wars, urban fantasy, Weird West, right? Urban, right? Myth and legends, and then ancient Egypt, right? All that's just not what I did, right? So let's check. But basically, so I got about 19,000 in cash. So the first thing I would do is do some more unlocking of text, and then I thought it would be nice for me to finish out the fairy section of the park. Right. So let's do text first, but then I'm going to show you all the changes I made to get ready, because I think you'll enjoy them overall. Text first. Ready? So ideally, we want more coasters because it's bringing people, right? And that sort of thing too. Typically, flat rides do bring in more cash, as you see, good cash to money stuff, right? But coasters are what bring people in, right? And that sort of thing too. So let me take a quick. Here you can see a few more coasters here. I got about a couple more chapters left here on, but I'm almost done with the flat rides because I was trying to get to the tower flat rides here that gives me the sunflower, and that's a big money maker and that sort of thing. So let's finish out the flat rides here, and those are all three great flat rides. And then after that's done, head over here to the coasters. Now I was trying to get to this spinning coasters, special coaster, because of the spinning wild mouse, which I wasn't able to book as a price, or this on that far side too. But I just wound up doing just under regular wild mouse too. Now I could do them, put the spinning coaster there instead if I wanted to. It is totally possible, but you can get it. Alright, but let's swing over here and see what I got. Alternative lift with 2 or launch coasters for 3. With 3 of them. Yeah, let's do launch coasters. I've got about 90, about that. I got enough money, tech left over for the alternate lift coasters too. I think that wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. But then before I did that, maybe there's something. I also want to do track rides or trains. Water track rides? What's that? I could do that too. That's not bad. What about the transports? I could do. I could do a steamboat. I think I could, and one of those 7200s. So let's do the alternate lift coasters number 2. Although it has no blueprint, which is sad because I'm very bad at building the coasters. Sorry. And then after that, we can then try out. Was it the train flat ride? No, it was the transport, right? Steamboat. All done. Yay! So if you hear me pausing to drink, that's because I'm drinking. Alright. Now the tech is done. Let me show you the changes I made overnight. There's a lot of them. Let's take a look. Alright, so the first thing I did here was I built another of these. Had to place another of these places for people to buy because at about 93% at one point in time, people were having their gifts supply. So I bought this hat, it's fantastic, and then I gave it a Mad. I think you'll like its name, the Mad Hatter's Millinery. That's a place where I'm not sure if it's a place where you make hats or sell hats. It's a good name. I also changed the names of a lot of these places, just as a heads up, to be a little more fairy tale. Right, and so here you have Planet Just a Memento, which is, I'm sorry, that's here. That's the tag. I changed it to fairy finds from fairy gifts. Right, I added another bathroom, and I changed all 3 bathrooms to be themed. Here's this, and this is kitty cubicles. It's good stuff. And then also, I thought I changed that to the enchanted laboratory. Maybe that's not the same thing. Well, that's all caps. Sorry about that. Can't spell it even without spelling it. There we go. Ancient collectors. Well, that actually still, was a lot of issues there. Sorry about that. Alrighty. Also changed the name of this place that was the info place, guest services, to the Pixie Post, and from, I think it was called like Family Surprises or something like that. And then over here, this is the burger place. I'm sorry, it's a Gelato Brothers ice cream place. So I put over to the Pixie Scoop, and then over here I swapped this to Sprite Shakes instead of just Fairy Shakes. I think it was what it was called before, Sprite Shakes. So it was fun. More alliterative. Over here is a burger place that I renamed to the Free Bears Burgers, although I really like the Goblins Grill that I found online too, and a couple of others you might see later. And then over here you have this is the Berry Fish from the sushi place. I think it was called like very approved sushi or something like that. And this was meatless stuff over here next to it, the vegan section. I swapped over to Fayfair, and then over here, this is Juice Shots, and so I swapped it over to, if I remember correctly, Pixie Potions, which was a great name. Yep. And then over here, I have Pixie. This is the coffee place, and so basically, I looked up some names online, and or like even like through AI and that sort of thing too. And that's one of the ones that came up for the coffee section. But now that I'm thinking about Pixie Dust Perks, it might be better as, say, the magic beans and that sort of a thing too. I'm right. But Pixie Dust Perks also is very alliterative too, but rather than Jack's Magic Beans, right? And that's a little thing too. But I think both of those would be pretty good. Alright, then another thing I also did here is I rethemed a lot of rides with that AI stuff too. Here, sometimes just on my phone, right? And so this started with this. So the last thing I built yesterday was this tiny one. And because I had to build this power structure, I wasn't able to build have enough money left for the other thing. And this is a tiny guy, right? So I renamed it to Pixie's Peak because tiny pixies, and I like it. I thought that was the first thing that came up. I was like, that's a great. So I started to look up some of these other names for it. Next up was the Twister, also something I built yesterday. I think I named it like Fairy Twister or something like that. Not the worst name in the world, but we swapped it over to Fairy Ring Flying. Love it. I think it's a great name. And then also over here, I had initially had a big wheel. The big wheel, Ferris wheel, was initially named Rumpelstiltskin's wheel, and then I swapped it over. It's not the worst. It's not because it actually is the. But then we swapped over to Cloudberry Cloud, which is also a wheel theme too. Love that name. It's so fun. Also, I swapped over some other it's two over here on the far side. Still here. I swapped over. This was the Flying Theater, and I changed its name to Fairy Theater. Not bad, but we swapped it over to Ever After Aviator, which definitely has no that flying side of things. And the Ever After side kind of says this is what's going to happen with fairy tales. And then after here, I didn't change Fairy Fights, which is the bumper cars. It still makes a lot of sense. I did over here Garden Swing, but then we swapped it over to Glimmer Wing Swings. Over here was the Tilt-A-Whirl. It was at just completely swimming Tilt-A-Whirl, but I decided to go here more for the story. And I did the 3 spinners. which is a Grimm's Tale spinner too. And then my favorite ride might be how I changed this star wheel, which was initially based around the stars. But then I swapped it over to it is the Bishop wheel. I think it's such a big fun. Then the last one was the Sunflower. And so the Sunflower was the original life air. Which is alliterative. That's not the worst name in the world, right? But I swapped it over to Giants Ascent. Right, good stuff. All about giants going up the slope and stuff. And that's the thing too. So here's one with about 19,000. I could build another coaster here, and this section of the park. Or stuff like that too, right down here, for example. But that should be for training rides. I think it could get people deeper into the more exciting sections of the park too, right? So let's just. You can also see that I built a lot of theme around that was originally kept because I did like it, but I felt that we should definitely bring it too. And then I also gave the hot pink and blue sections for girls and boys, and that's it. Down here too. And so I thought what I should do just instead with today is we're just going to be finishing out the ferry section with as much as this decor, restaurants, and get it to a good place, right? And that's right. I thought that'd be better. So let's start with the last flat ride for this section. Now there are others, right? I could, or the coasters, right? Next. I was also surprised, just as a heads up, for how much money some of these rides that I built just made. Here, you can see. Here's the tiny isle, which you unlock with the sun wheel. 9.35. That's a lot of cash per person. Right here on the Twister is 8.06, and over here at the Tilt-A-Whirl is pretty good too. 10, 20, I mean, that's all making tons of money, right? So I think that's really good money. Alright, so the last thing I want to build over here then is the Helter Skelter ride for you folks. It's called no money, very little inside, right? It's not a big ride, right? It's not going to bring in the people or the cash, right? It's just a nice ride that would make sense for this theme section, right? So I think it's fun. Alright, so let's go and build it. That's probably it. Let me see if I can put it back a little bit. Yeah, I could put it there, but I just don't feel like it's probably going to work very far back. Maybe there, but I'm coming out. Let me just try here. I could put it here. No birdies. Probably going to be going one over there to ride it, right? But that's a possibility, too. Let's do that. Alrighty. So, fast little drink here while I'm thinking about. I think I'm gonna. Alright. Now, for the pathing tools, we're going to make work for all of us people over here too. So, the Q path here will be the rustic Johnson. Rustic Q, sorry. And that's here. That trash can. Here on the path side of things, we're just going to make that forced for width is good. And then after that, we're going to be jazzing those out. Jazzing those out. That here. We should go ahead and open that up. Our cash route. That's a lot of money, but let's change it to bar. Nothing, right? Because nobody wants to ride that way. It's just a fun ride, right? It's not going to make any money. So let's change the number of people on it, just to make sure that we don't have any issues with that, right? What are some good names of something I think about? Right, some stuff, right? Merlin's Twirl would make sense. It's one of the ones that just come up to me too. I also like here, because it's a spiral, you can do Sprite Spiral, or even a storybook spiral too. Another one it likes is the Rainbow Slipper. Right, not the worst idea. Yeah, I like the Rainbow Slipper side. So let's go there. Let's see what that is for me, folks. See if I can come up with the thing too. Or rainbows. Both. To just fast. I did want to make sure that I'm doing the pink. So we'll check in on that stuff too. Let's hear him. I'll read it a few times to make sure it's good to go. I doubt it. No swap over here. I'll keep that blue. Very bright. It's a lot of black. Let's try another one too. That's not bad. Could get a brighter blue that rather than that kind of stand out a little more without clashing with that. Let's see. That is, I don't know what blue that is. It could be a random blue. So let me try one. Copy that. Just a heads up. Because I like it. Medium blue. Yeah, it's a little better. It's a bolder. Alright, let's do it. Okay, good stuff. Alright, some of these. I forgot to see if there's a way to do for people more than one. We'll see here in a second. Summary, I don't think it's it. Cash. No, that stuff's going to give it to me too, right? I still think that's happening. I thought it was operations. Who knows if I actually got it. Nope, it just doesn't bother. Alright, so now the next thing I want to build, while I'm thinking about it, are the benches, bins, all of that sort of thing. We'll definitely want to make sure that this place looks nice for me, right? Nice and good. Yeah, because I can see people coming off that nauseous, right? So we definitely want to push it back next time. Maybe some too. So it's a bird. Yeah, this might's definitely going to get lower. It's weird. Sorry. Let's copy it from here too. I'm thinking about it. and I've got a name. Now while I'm doing that, let's see if I can do some where's our canopy? It's pretty far weird. It's because this actually goes up if you recall. I can't put that stuff. Yeah, actually there was one. That's right. I just forgot. So this deck core. Get up in between those two. Oh boy. 40 probably is fine right now. Cash. Watch out. Canceling that. No, this damn first. Either that's 100%. Just trying to line that up perfectly. And then one more of those should be good. I can do 3 of them. It's not lined up even. These are cool. Too much of your time on it. That's good. Now, do I have any of those? It's rainbows and samples, right? That's the same as if I find it. Any rainbows or samples? Get a little quick decoration with it. Just ain't either. Well, there's probably just like sand. Let me just. Or what about rainbow? Ooh, we do have a rainbow. Let me just try shoes too. I gotta shoot. It's a horseshoe. Not proper shoe. Let's see. Is that the sign? That's nice. And then what? Over here? It's a gutter shoe. Okay. Let's just do the rainbows instead. But now I'm very fast for you folks. First for what is the things on that? It's a rainbow panel. It's in a basic plan. So okay. $5. Let me see how big it comes in base. There we go. was hoping to get that up. Just talking about it. Play snapping. Do I need to snap it? Maybe. Yep. And some of that stuff will show up a lot. Yeah. Weird. Check it right here. Let's see if it works. I could put that here as an arch. That's my here, the entrance. I'm sorry, at the exit entrance. I don't know, it's a weird thing. At the entrance to the exit, I guess, would be how you would say. Right, that's fine. Do it real fast for you folks. I don't know if I spend too much of your time. I don't want to be spending like a half an hour just fighting with wall panels. Right. I've already spent like 20 minutes fighting with this stuff. So just a fast thing here. That's good. That needs to be bigger than that. Could I just put it here at the front then instead and not worry about it for later? Yeah, I'll just come back to this later and worry about it. Maybe tonight or something like that. That works. Alright, good stuff. Alrighty. Now, the next of that, let's just move over to the... over here. Alright, so now the next thing I want to do is to theme some of these shops. Right, and that sort of thing too, to get them themed for you folks. Now actually, I want to show you some stuff here too, because as a reminder, I'm not a good coaster builder or decor builder, right? I'm not somebody who really has, the talent to sort of sit back here, right, and spend, tons of time building like decor or even or coasters, right? And that sort of thing too. So if it doesn't come with the game, one of the things I like to do is download those blueprints from other places, right? So some of these, so let's also do that too, like I mentioned earlier. I talked earlier about leaving this place open for a restaurant. So let's look at the restaurant. Leave this for here. Now, so here, let me show you a few restaurants that you could be doing here. So one of the restaurants that you could be doing here, just as a heads up, is an actual proper sit-down restaurant. And here you go. We actually have a few of them, and that sort of thing too. All the ones that have that fork and this spoon for you folks, right? Some of these are already themed. That's the resort theme that came in the game, right? I also have here the resort planet coaster. Aquatic, mythology, and Viking. All for those. So the basic one might be good here. If I wanted that, and that sort of thing too, and built it here. That's not the worst thing in the world. Another thing I could do with this space is to build things that are actually a little more themed for you folks. In here, let me show you. all of the places here. Actually, let me swap it over here to facilities. Right. Fairy tales. So somebody on the line, and I'm going to look up who it is before I place it, has built this nice little pizza van with a fairy tale theme, because none of although there's tons of fairy tale stuff in that game. Here, I'll show you real quick. If you look at, see all the people that made fairy tale stuff. I'm sorry, all the stuff that came in the game in the fairy tale section, right? You can see like there's like 550 items, right? But no blueprint. So it was a total shock. Other than the ones that I downloaded from other places, right? And I thought that was really weird to my mind. So I did download some of this stuff online. So we'll be checking out some of that stuff and who I'm dropping to. So I give them. So the first of these I'm going to put here is the pizza plan. Pizza plan with a fairy tale style. So let's find out whose that is. At 509, I can totally place that. Before I place it, pizza plan, fairy tale. Let's find out who did that for me, folks. Fairy tale. Pizza. He's here. I think. Yeah, it's so this person who did this for you folks with the crown section that it's built around is Mimi K. And so it's Mimi K. We've actually done one or two of our other things too, because I like how they understand the good stuff that's happening here with this stuff, right? So now we're just going to build this down. Alright. Mimi. Okay, good job. Now we're just going to open this up real fast. Sorry, that was not opening it up real fast. We're going to name that, I think that Pixie Paws makes sense for pizza. Open that up. Now, that is actually, if you take a quick look here, actually have a pizza vending machine, so we'll just get rid of that over here. Delete that too. All right, now that's good. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do over here is to build actually. I'll probably want to do a restaurant too. And I could just do a Planet Coaster one over here too. But let's give me there's another person out there that gave me a fairy tale burger shop in this case. And that's this way. That's the fairy tale house. Let me see whose that is. Mimi K did the first one, but let's see who did this fairy tale house. Sorry. I figured it was a shop right there. I could look at burgers too, which is fairy tale decor. You can see that comes up with it here in a second too. I won't take too much of your time. I'll do one more. That's from the White House there. We consider the White House a fairy tale house. Here's something to show. Is this it? No, that's the pizza pen that I just built. In any case. Alright, so we'll try with fairy tale decor and see what it's like. See if that works. I think it's on page 3, might be pushing it back, so let's try it on page 1. Causing issues. There you go. Don't try fairy tale shops if that doesn't come up with it. Yeah, I was also going to do a restaurant too, so let's grab that too on me. This is by Margara. Subscribe. Let's see how big it is here in a second or two. Okay, I'll do Margara's building real fast. Well, I probably want to keep some space open and see the to see how big it is. Good slaughterhouse spelled fairy tale. It's a nice looking building over there. It's a grand carousel. I'm not going to build that, obviously. Let's look for shops. There's also a pizza pen too. Alright. So the next thing I'll just do here, let me see if it comes up when I pull it up real fast. Just see if it gives a code. Maybe I can just look it up there. come back to that because I want to get that person from. We're going to do the Fairy Tale Restaurant here. Let's see if that's a little closer. Here, let's go ahead. Let me see if I think one possible way of doing that might be a Fairy Tale burgers. Let's see if that comes up. Fairy Tale burger. Real quick. See what comes up here. Nope. Not there. That person again, no. That's a nice little hedge maze though. It's by Mark R2. Maybe I'll grab it real fast. I might dig here in a little bit. Here are some other things that I've already done, but I still don't see magic. One more. That's nice. This is Gelato Brothers. And other stuff too. Fairy House Gaster, is that it? Might be it. Hold on, that's by Low Cut Gaming. No. That's got lots of great decor with a fairy tale theme too. Like this, great stuff. Or that. Tate uniform. That's pretty strong stuff. Well, but here, let's just stop shopping. Let's just go back here. I just won't place it until I know who it is. I want to give that person credit. Maybe one of them. Make sure they find it. Oh, here it is. Darth Tempest. Alright, let's go and place it. Darth Tempest. Put it right down. That is a burger place, and if you recall, I already have a burger place, right? So we're going to change that name to my current burger place, and I'll dismiss it. Demolish. Achievement. That was three beer burgers. and that's not in a bad place. So I'll probably just change it over to something else really fast too. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is just put some shells around that like I did here to sort of expand that. Again, I just don't have a good fairy tale, although I could do those by taunt. I really do like grab their stuff. It might be hard. So I'm gonna assume it's like I'll just use it there. I think that's really strong stuff, right? And then that sort of thing too. But here, let's just hear how the shells work, just as a heads up. In the scenery section. So the shells here go over top of. So you can see here these various shells, right? Ideally, we would want a storybook shells, all that stuff. But unfortunately, we typically just don't have a lot of those storybooks. We do have some sorcery stuff in our fantasies. I think that's what it is. For that info session, well, it's guest services too. I could do that too. Can do that too. Here with the guest facilities. See if that works. Or if I've accidentally just got too much details right now, sort of thing too. But let's see what I can do. Now the problem with using sorcery here is that I would be using the sorceries in other places too, right? Because it's my default fantasy. Lovely. Yes, that's not bad. Alrighty. So I'll put it there and then get that done. Or do I want to go with that, the tots? Well, since I've already done the first one, let's go ahead and do that for consistency's sake. Although there might be a couple of ways I want to do that. Get that a little more aligned with the streets and such. Let me try it a little further. That's good. But that wasn't. That works. For you folks. Alrighty. Already, over here, I could do, and then over here I can just demolish that and replace it. Let's see. I'll replace them. Let's first go over to here. See what I got over here. I've got coffee and juice. Coffee, juice, vegan, and sushi. Coffee, juice, vegan, sushi. Coffee, vegan, juice, and sushi. Dots on mangoes in there. Very good. Shops. To go for retail shops and move touch from me. It's time. Alright, sorry about that. So I'm showing you. So let's just go ahead and do that really fast for you folks and then get those installed. I'm probably gonna take care of them. page 2, sorry. Go to page 1. Already knew that. Here, it's good. Lots of that, so you can see him too. Does it talk here with the slush out? Probably. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab that one too. I'll just put this in. Actually, I have a vending machine for that, so we'll see that actually happens. Okay. I thought they were showing up here a water. Is it Fairy Tale Shores? Maybe it was Fairy Tale Burgers. Is that it? I'm just going to pop back there and see if I can pull the ones just by tots real fast. I know an nailed steam, but this uses its own steam. I don't know if it'll work here. I'm digging on it. Workshop creations, yeah. There's a bunch more here too. I'll just grab them. Pip shot shoes, all this stuff. I've already got the cow. I'm already covered, so I probably won't want that. That's the milkshake, as well as the Gelato Brothers too. Well, I'm gonna grab. I'll probably download just to make sure, in case they're needed later. Just a great stuff. Good job. Get the cheap beef done. That's not bad one either for later. Okay, I'll check out just in case. I'm going up for like my fantasy section. Yep, coffee, lattes in this case. I do have a hot dog place as a vending machine, but that might not be a bad place out. with ball hunting tendencies, I'm just not that talented doing all that stuff, you know. But I can definitely appreciate that. Already built a pizza pen. But the sushi I would need. There we go. I'll go ahead and grab this one too because it's got other places too. Alright, and then I want to, thank you. And we'll be done this week. So I'm going to finish building some of these things, get all that decor up and running, and then I'll just use the money that's left after doing that tonight to just pay down loans and that sort of a thing to get us in a better fiscal. It's just alright, but there we go. Hope you enjoy that, folks, much. Right, all up in Sandbox. That's coming up next. Alrighty, but there you go for all of you folks. Hope you enjoyed that much. Just let me know what your thoughts are. And that sort of thing too. And then also I do some of these things for the let me just save it while I do a bunch of these let's plays, and like I mentioned earlier, I got videos coming up, coming up soon for my reviews for Planet Zoo, for things like Jurassic World 2 Evolution, also by Frontier 2, as well as some other theme park stuff I'll be coming up. I'll probably put some. It's one of my favorite genres out there, and that's sort of the thing too. Alrighty for you folks, and then also just and then there we go. I want to thank you, so very, very much, for just taking some time out of your day, right, and investing, right, and even watching my videos, right. Because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So the fact you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.